Hey guys, Brad from Team Crimson here with...
Zach the Great.
I was waiting for a lot more. Okay.
Took me a lot.
Took a lot of restraint on his
Yeah.
part. Okay, so today we are here to do a discussion video. We're going to be talking about Heroic Evolution.
It's the Heroic Evolution.
Extra Booster 07, because we need more extra boosters than actual sets for some
Kind of
reason.
strange at this point. but whatever.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the three clans appearing in Heroic Evolution. We'll be talking about Nova Grappler, Link Joker, and, of course, Kagero.
I mean, obviously, Novas are the best, so
No.
they're easily the best.
No, they're pretty good.
They are. But they're best.
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. If you're new to the channel, what we do when we do our set discussion videos, we talk about, obviously, some of the main cards of the set. We talk about the triple R's and the VRs, and we just kind of break down some of how we think maybe this could impact the meta. We'll see. So let's go ahead and get into it. And the first clan that we're starting off with, we're going to leave the entire discussion for it to our Nova Grappler expert.
I am an expert.
Yeah, so he will be handling all of the Nova Grappler cards, but we'll still talk about him. So,
Okay.
all right.
So, starting off with the first triple R to discuss, we got Kick Typhoon, which is a grade 2, 5k shield, 9k, and its skill is auto Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle when placed. If this unit is on Vanguard Circle or an additional Rearguard Circle, one of your units gets plus 5,000 power until the end of turn. And then its second skill is auto Rearguard Circle once a turn when it attacks. If all of your front row rearguard circles have a rearguard, cost counterblast 1 and stand one of your other rearguard circles or other rearguards. So this card, it kind of acts like a king without an actual cost, like a Soul Blast. It only gives power to one unit, but totally awesome. And that's nice because if you ride and you're playing against a Force clan, then it's basically you give power to it, and it's just it can swing and actually hit instead of just being 9k.
You said Force Clan with so much hostility.
Force.
Like you Force Clan. Like he was gonna say something else, but then
Force. But then also the fact that when it swings, having to make sure that all your rearguard circles are full. It's not like it's gonna hurt exactly, but it does make you commit a little bit more. And then also, yeah, just to restand a rearguard is really nice for Novas. They haven't had a grade 2 unit, especially, that has been able to do that since Victor, back in GR. I think the only other grade 2 that actually stood back up was, what's the name? What am I thinking of? The Riser, Burst Riser. And that's its own skill.
yeah.
So it's definitely really nice that this unit gives power and then also attacks and stands a unit. That's awesome. Moving on, we're going to get to Ultra Beast Deity, Illuminal Dragon, which is another triple R. So that one is a grade 3. It gives Excel and it's 12k. Its skill is auto Vanguard Circle once a turn. At the end of the battle that your rearguard attacked and does not hit, cost counterblast 1, stand that unit, and it gets 10,000 power until the end of turn. Attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. And then its second skill is an auto Vanguard Rearguard Circle. Once a turn, when your other unit's attack hits, this unit gets plus 15,000 power until end of turn. This one, basically, it's a second ride target. So the Beast Deity deck, if you don't have an Azure to do, it allows you to re-ride and keep doing skills that you need to do. So yeah, you'll ride him and do his skill to attack. If it doesn't hit, counterblast, stand it plus 10, and then his other skill with the Vanguard and Rearguard Circle gains plus 15. So again, Force especially, if they get a trigger, it can still do something. So that's really nice. I'm sorry, Force is just, I don't like it. They bother me. Excel's the best. Okay, and then finally, the the card that I actually don't like at all.
Because
the VR of this set.
Because he's an idiot.
I don't like it. It's just me personally. I like the beast deities. I don't like how these ones act, but it's fine. This one is Spitting Valiant, which is the grade 3 VR of the set. It gives Excel and it's 12k.
He's got a Beyblade.
He's a Beyblade dude. His skill is Continuous Vanguard Circle. All units can only attack the Vanguard. He's got the other skill, which is Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, if your front row has 4 or more units, until the end of turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, then cost Counter Blast 4. And when your opponent would call from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, he or she must call 3 or more Guardians at the same time. So it's definitely a finisher. This one you would not play in a Beast Deity variant of the deck. You'd play in, obviously, the heroes. It is a hero type. So basically what you would do is you could ride this like early game, but you want to do that late game. That Counter Blast 4, that's just having to guard with 3 or more cards from hand. That's just a lot. It's nuts. It's a bit nuts.
Yeah, well, then there's damage inducers with
there's that one grade 1 for sure that like makes both people take damage right off the bat.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It pushes you closer to dying as well as them closer to getting their actual cost.
That's pretty cool though.
So yeah, I don't like it, but I know it's a good card.
I think it's a very good card.
It's a really nuts card.
With Illuminal?
With Illuminal? It could work, I guess, but I would imagine that most people would probably try playing that Girly Dolly along with it. Just so... Because that one
of the heroes. Yeah, I mean, you're still going to play, like, it's
right.
Novas. You're still going to play a bunch of great things.
Right. But yeah, I figure that basically what they're going to want to do is make sure that, especially in a mirror match, they're going to want to be able to survive by using the grade 3. Yeah, it's grade 3 Girly Dolly. And its skill, I'm pretty sure, is it increases shield value somehow. I remember it vaguely. I know that it's something about shield. That's probably your main ride target, is because in those mirror matches especially, it's going to make guarding easier, as well as like any other game, especially from clans, and this set in particular helps with guarding.
Okay. He's gonna talk about Nova Grapplers forever.
I'm sorry.
Let's before we move on, how do you think the meta is going to be impacted by this set for Nova Grapplers?
Well, we already know that the Beast Deities are doing fairly well.
They're okay. They're not
right.
like they may be top. I don't know.
They're doing okay.
They're okay. Illuminal fixes that.
A part of me really wants to say that or at least I hope that the Spitting Valiant variant does not do good, but that's because it plays weird. It plays weird. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, like, all it does, it gains the additional Vanguard circles and all, but it doesn't play like actual Novas. You know what I mean? And it waits till last minute to do that Counter Blast 4, and then it makes them guard restrict, is basically all it is.
Yeah, but that's weird. That's forcing if you've got, like...
but then, like, if you
got just the 4, so that, your three front row, and then you've got 1 XL circle. That's forcing 12 cards out of your opponent's hand just to guard your attack.
I just think too that if you can somehow get lucky enough to damage deny, then they can't do that CB4. Or if they use other skills throughout the day. Well, they do. They have 2. I know that they have the one that's only like on ride or something, but like even then, like, it's just, I know that would be the situation you'd ride Valiant, make sure that they can only attack your Vanguard and all that. But like, I mean, there's still decks that allow you to retire Vanguards, and I know that they have a lot of stuff, but just me personally, I hope they don't do good. I'm probably going to be disappointed in that. They're probably going to be doing amazing, but whatever.
Let's move on to Link Joker, because he'll talk forever.
I don't like them.
Jesus. Okay. All right, Link Joker, moving on. As we both have a little bit of experience with Link Joker, so we like it. So let's move on. We're going to go ahead and read the first triple R for Link Joker, and that is Sunset Edge Duskblade. He has become a grade 1 instead of a grade 2 from Giera.
Pretty neat.
So he is obviously grade 1, 10k shield, 8k body, auto rearguard circle. When the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and bind it face down. And if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you get to draw a card.
That's pretty nuts.
Very, very solid. Getting rid of cards from your opponent's board is always
as well
awesome.
as plussing from that. That's awesome.
Yeah, as well as being able to plus. That's great, and it stays on field too. That's so.
It doesn't have to leave at all.
That's so dumb. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the next
Grade
one,
2.
the triple R, the grade 2.
Lady Battler of the Gravity Well. She was in Giera too. She's a grade 2 with 10k. Her skill is Rearguard Circle, auto Rearguard Circle. When it attacks, costs Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Look at the top card of your deck and put it on Rearguard Circle as a locked card and draw a card. So again, plussing.
Yes.
Just because.
Being able to plus and then going into the next card, it helps a lot. It's very, very good.
Pretty nuts.
So in order to talk more about this one, I think we have to go on to the VR of the set. So we're going to go on to the VR of the set, and that one is Harmonix Messiah. Grade 3 Force, 13k body. Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, search your deck for up to one card, put it on Rearguard Circle as a locked card, and then shuffle your deck. Also, Auto Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, at the end of the battle it attacked, if your soul has a grade 3 or greater card, cost Counterblast 1, and discard a card from your hand. Choose any number of any fighter's locked cards, unlock them, draw the same number of cards, and then 2 rear guards in your front row get power plus 15,000 until end of turn.
Nuts. It's pretty nuts. So basically, to get more into depth with this card in general, obviously when it attacks, you search your deck for a card. I believe it's a grade 2 that you'll want to search for. Is it the Lady Battler? Or there's also the one...
No,
you probably go for that one grade 2.
You could do Lady Battler, but you probably don't. It really doesn't matter. You're just going for the attackers.
Right.
The other grade 2, there is a grade 2 that lets you restand your Vanguard, but your drive check has to reveal a grade 3.
Right.
In order to do the restand. You might want to go for that.
Just in case.
As a just in case option, which would be cool. But outside of that, no, you're basically just going in for the multi-attacks. I'm thinking.
And that's really cool.
And it's really, really good. And it pluses so hard. The only drawbacks I see from this deck are soul is a problem.
Yeah.
Your first ride target is either that ghastly nail or whatever. I can't remember his name. And he's not very good. He's just okay. Or you could play the half Messiah, half Deleter variant of this version, and you could play Greyon and go into that, but you're counterblasting 2.
It would hurt your counterblast.
So it hurts your counterblast too. So no matter what, you're kind of no matter which option you're going, you're leaning towards there's some drawbacks there. But when you get into Harmonix pays off because Harmonix is ridiculously
Plus, with
awesome.
that extra power, and then that's even before drive checks and triggers.
Like it had me salivating because as a Kagero player, but
Pretty
I'm
nuts.
looking at it and I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Being able to multi-attack, and that's where Lady Battler comes in handy. You swing with one of your rearguard columns or something. You swing with Lady Battler to superior call a locked card, and then you swing with Harmonix to superior call something on top of Lady Battler.
And what's really nuts
and then
too,
you unlock them.
I think it's just
and they
because
gain 15k.
Force as well. Just because Force 2 will be a thing when this card comes out. plus crits to each rearguard. So like with that plus 15,000 power before trigs as well, and being able to multi-attack with rearguards that might have that crit, that's nuts. That's not right.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure what would go better with this. If Force 2 would go better with this, or if Force 1 would go better with this.
Well, because I know already just by the plus 15, that's a lot of power.
That is a lot of power.
But would they want to go for more power?
If you swung with maybe your rear guards or something at other rear guards or something, I don't know. I'm not quite sure for your first attacks. I mean, and then when you go into harmonics, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I could see Force 1 being very valuable too.
Yeah,
and I mean, certain matchups.
It's probably one of those decks that you almost have to choose the matchup. Kind of not like the Great where it leans more towards one or the other. You know.
Yeah.
The Great Kagero, I mean, that one obviously goes to Force 1, whereas
we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
But as for the
meta,
I do think that it will be a great deck. I'm not 100% sure on top 5. I would say it could be top 5, but almost barely, I would say. Because it seems like it's super Counterblast heavy for one, or Soul Blast heavy, so they might not always have their costs to do those big things. But then also because there are already so many awesome decks out that are just as powerful.
I think... the meta has a problem right now with Bermuda and stuff. But if Bermuda, if something happens to Bermuda with on Tuesday or something with the stream, or like they actually Bushiroad has the balls to actually, hit Bermuda like it deserves, then I could see this being quite a contender. It pluses so hard, and you're gaining advantage constantly from being able to draw, from being able to kill your opponent's stuff, from being able to multi-attack, and from being able to it's nuts. I love it.
I am awesome. Glad, however, that they basically, in all the standard stuff at least, that they don't lock opponents' cards.
So far, and that's why they worded harmonics the way it's worded,
so that you can still actually use it in premium.
It's future proofing kind of thing. So, all right, so let's move on to the best clan of the entire game, and that is Kagero. And I was talking about that as a resident Kagero expert because
See, me being the Nova expert, I already know that that's not correct.
But I'm not going to talk about Kagero for 9 minutes in total.
It's because they're that good.
Anyways,
I'm counting.
So the first triple R of the set is the Grade 2 Wyvern Strike Doha. Grade 2 5k intercept. It's a 9k body. It's auto rearguard circle when placed from hand. Cost Counterblast 1. Search your deck for up to 1 Wyvern Strike Garen. Call it to rearguard circle and then shuffle your deck. Also, continuous rearguard circle. During the battle it attacked, if your opponent has no rearguards, your opponent cannot call normal units from his or her hand to guardian circle. He's nasty.
So, already I'm seeing that this deck is probably going to be a more control-heavy deck.
Well, yeah, because of Blade Master. And yeah, I mean, you're still playing Berserks. You're still playing... I mean, you could play Nahalem and stuff like that too. We'll get into that. But they basically gave Kagero a superior call card, and for a reason. Moving on to the other triple R of the set, which is ironically better than the VR of the set, which is Dragonic Blade Master. Yep, he is back. Grade 3, Force, 13k body. Continuous Vanguard Circle. If your opponent has no rear guards, this unit gains power plus 5,000 and critical plus 1. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. If Wyvern Strike Doha, the grade 2, and Wyvern Strike Garen, the grade 1 that its superior calls, are on your rearguard circle, cost Soul Blast 1, grade 3, and discard 2 cards from your hand, retire all of your opponent's rearguards, and then call a Vision token to rearguard circle, and at the end of that turn, retire it. The vision token that is called to the field is a grade 3. It's 13k power with the critical of 1, and it has twin drive as well.
That was out of nowhere. I still remember reading it for the first time. It was out of nowhere. Just like you wouldn't imagine Blade Master to be doing something like that. But
I think it's cool.
What's nuts is like it's control heavy. It automatically you'll be just killing your opponent's entire board. And then on top of that, the fact that you have 2 twin drive attacks, one being a rear guard that you can power up with the first twin drive. That's nuts. Your field has to be very specific because your Call of Vision token, and you have to have the Doha and Garen or whatever.
Yeah, but Doha calls Garen.
Right.
So
it's automatically 10
ridiculous.
times easier to fulfill that little, whatever that is. Awesome.
It's a very, 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 very good card, and it kind of actually brings Kagero back to what Kagero was originally, which is a retire heavy, pressure heavy deck. Whereas Overlord has taken, the grade is very good, very, 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 very good actually.
But they aren't as control heavy as
it hasn't been as control
supposed to be.
Kagero hasn't been as control heavy. A lot of decks are able to retire better than Kagero can. But then you have then Shadow Paladin, Narukami even. But Overlords tries to make up for it with all the restanding and stuff like that now. So we'll get on to the disappointing VR of the set. And that is Dragonic Overlord The End. One of the most the original was probably the most busted card that's ever come out from this game. So they make it up to you by bringing out a V-Series version of it that sucks. Okay, so grade 3, Force, 13k body. Auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle it attacked, activate one of the effects below. However, it cannot activate the same effect for the same turn. Meaning that you can use both effects, but you can't use
one effect twice.
One effect twice, yes. If your hand has 4 or less cards, cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until end of turn. And then the second one, which you're going to use first, if your soul has a card with Overlord in its card name, discard 3 cards from your hand, stand this unit, and it gets 10,000 power, drive -1 until end of turn. So you're getting 3 attacks.
3 Vanguard attacks.
3 Vanguard attacks off of it, which would seem very, very good. Except
it isn't.
It isn't, because you have to neg yourself so hard just to do that that it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's what I've been comparing it to is it's literally putting your balls in a meat grinder and just going for it.
You
because
either win hard or you die. Super hard.
You either win hard
because
you're...
the issue with it is like you want to do both skills. I think that there will be situations where you like don't have a choice and you can only do like the one, but you don't plus from it at all.
I've been proxying the deck a little bit, but
like the one skill, unless your hand is super low, but then otherwise you're not plussing from it at all. It's you're dropping 3 cards, or is it 2 cards?
You're dropping 3 cards. You already want to have a limited hand, and you're dropping 3 cards to hopefully have, and then you do the 1 drive check, so that you hope to God you don't get a draw trigger, and then when you end that battle, you want to have 4 cards in hand or less to do the restand again. And it's literally...
It doesn't too much seem to play like Overlord almost should.
It plays like Overlord. It's just,
but like comparing it even to
it doesn't play
OG
like
Overlord.
It does not play like the Kagero I'm familiar with. I've been playing Kagero for a very long time, and this is just... it's awesome and all, but Kagero has always been about the later the game progresses, the stronger and stronger Kagero can become, because that's just they're very grind heavy,
more advantage just to gain.
clan. They've always been like that. This completely goes against that, I feel. A lot of my games too that I've been playing with this, I ride my first grade 3, and then I'm riding into the end and trying to kill them there, because that's literally how this deck seems to be designed.
And the thing is too, like, the game has to go forward a certain way, and if any hiccups happen, then it's almost gonna ruin that end game that you're trying to reach. It makes it way harder.
And
for sure.
The other problem is it does not go well with the Great. The Great and it do not work well together. The Great prefers Force 1 because of obviously itself attacking and Neoflame attacking. This actually, you could use either or, but it does prefer Force 2. And going in for that. But they don't mesh well with each other. And I've seen some people trying to argue to play, like 3 of each of the overlords, and it just doesn't work, because what makes the end actually good is Ducat. Ducat, you need Ducat, and if you're playing that in what's mostly this hodgepodge deck, then you're not going to get access to any of the cards. Your deck's just going to be all over the place. I've even heard some of the people trying to make arguments of take your current version of the Great build and you throw in 1 or 2 copies of the end. Well, then again, it's not optimal.
It's kind of like if you get it, and if it's a good time, then you get to use it.
And
but like
most in the Great build of the deck, you're playing 6 draw triggers. That cannot happen with this card. Trust me, I've actually drove check draw triggers and screwed myself out of the restanding because of the draw triggers, and that was with 4. So imagine playing 6 with this guy. It's not a good card. It's not a good card. You can try to argue it as much as you want. You're wrong, but it's unfortunately not good. The other funny part too is this is actually decent against Excel. Every time I've played against some of the ones, I have an easier time against Excel, but against anything else, I'm dead. It's terrible. Anyways, that's about so for Kagero, stick with the Great.
I think it's been 10 minutes.
Play Blade Master. So yeah. That's it, guys. That's it from us for Heroic Evolution. We'll be getting back at you more with some more discussions from Premium Collection. Premium. Yeah, we'll be doing that.
Yeah,
we'll be doing some more fights and stuff like that. So just stay tuned, and please comment below. Let us know your thoughts on this set. Let us know your thoughts on Nova Grappler, Link Joker, the amazingness that is Blade Master.
But most importantly, Nova Grappler.
And yeah, just let us know. Just let us know your thoughts. We'd like to hear from you. And yeah, please like and subscribe as well. All that fun YouTube stuff. We will catch you later. Bye.